And to kick it off the men's side, Caleb Love will lead North Carolina into transfer portal, which is crazy. Caleb Love had a terrible season, as all of North Carolina had a terrible season, as they went from preseason number one to not even making the NCAA tournament and skipping the NRT. But Caleb Love, after 2 seasons with the Tar Heels, is going into the transfer portal. Is starting to see where he will land at, and can he develop his game a little bit better? Because he shot less than 38% from the field, which is terrible, very terrible. Kentucky guard Cyber Whirler also is going to enter transfer portal. He didn't get see a lot of action this upcoming season under John Calipari, so he decided to enter transfer portal, which is interesting because the transfer portal has paid dividends, as you can see when we get to our Final Four matchup. That's paid dividends for a lot of these teams in this tournament this year. Moving right along, Oregon's Kylie Wade, former top 10 recruit, to enter portal as well. And Mr. Terry, Coach Terry, is officially the new coach of the Texas Longhorns. He led them all the way up to the Elite Eight after the university dismissed Chris Beard over domestic violence allegation that was later dropped by the girlfriend. Oh, I said not girlfriend, fiance, shall I say? Now he fell short to the Miami Hurricanes, which I will get to, but he officially got the job. I believe it was 5 years. I think it's a 5-year deal, if I remember correctly. So shout out to Mr. Terry for officially getting the head coaching job. Going all the way in, Smith is leaving NC State to enter draft. Shout out to Smith. He had a phenomenal year for the Wolfpack. But he ain't the only one. Baylor star freshman Keontae George is also declined from the NBA draft. Both guys are projected with somewhere around in the top 10, top 15 range. So we'll see where they go and how they develop into the professional league. Now let's get to our recap, starting with the Sweet 16 that began Thursday. Kansas State, the game of the tournament. The game of the tournament. I gotta make the game of the tournament. Michigan State, Kansas State, Madison Square Garden. Back and forth affair. Overtime game. Marquise Noel put on the show. This man had 19 assists, 20-something points. And 19 assists is a record in the NCAA tournament single game. That's a remarkable display. He was refusing to go home while playing in his hometown of New York City. That's a phenomenal display by Marquise Noel to get them past the Michigan State Spartans and Tom Izzo to get to their Elite Eight. UConn, the most dominant team throughout the entire tournament, is UConn, and they pulled that dominance with a 23-point win over Arkansas. FAU in Madison Square Garden against the physical Tennessee Volunteer team, and they handled the physicality that the Volunteers brought to them, stunning the Volunteers, the fourth seed, 62-55. And then Gonzaga and UCLA gave us another classic game to watch. Gonzaga edging out UCLA 79-76 in that one. Equal as shocking as FAU taking down Tennessee, it is San Diego State with the stifling defense holding down Alabama to 64 points, with the Aztec reaching the Elite Eight 71-64. And then the last and final number one seed went down. Right after the number one overall seed went down, the Houston Cougars was outmatched on the offensive end by the Miami Hurricanes, 89-75. All number one seeds done before the Elite Eight for the first time ever in the NCAA tournament. The run of Princeton ended in the Sweet 16 where Creighton outshot them 86-75. The Tigers fell down to the Blue Jays. And then Texas showed that with some defensive stops and great offense, you can take down the Xavier. And they took them down by 12, 83-71. That was the Sweet 16. And then we had the Elite Eight. In the Elite Eight, Madison Square Garden, it was the South region. It was the East region. FAU versus K-State. Which team will punch their ticket to the Final Four, the first Final Four in program history? Florida Atlantic Iowa. Woo, 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 woo. What a game. What a game. Florida Atlantic is in the Final Four. And they did it at Madison Square Garden. Boca Raton was rocking. Boca Raton was on another level. To see their Owls make history. And I do mean history. And then UConn continued their dominance, and they dominated. They just dominated Gonzaga. 82-54. It was a beat down for the ages. It was a beat down. I don't think Gonzaga had witnessed in a very long time. And UConn proving why they are the most dominant team in the NCAA tournament, as they took the West region to get to the Final Four. That was Saturday. This was Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. A controversial ending to the game. Do you call a foul? Was it a foul? Should you call it, and all that good stuff? One, by the definition, it is a foul. Okay, by definition, it is a foul. So what most people fail to, I know what the argument people are trying to say about how that game finished, but let me make the argument for you. Okay, a handful of people made the correct argument. The correct argument for this is that it is a foul. That is the definition of a foul. What happened? That's the definition of a foul. The problem that people have, you weren't calling that in the first 5 minutes of the game, the last 5 minutes of the first half. You weren't calling that in the first 5 minutes of the second half. So how all of a sudden, with a second to go, now you call the foul? But you only called 11 fouls throughout the whole game until that moment. 11 total fouls called. And you called out. That is the issue of what people have. But they just didn't put it in the correct terms of saying. If you call 11 fouls throughout the whole game, which telling me you're going to let them play, you're going to let them play, you're going to let them play. But when you get down to the final seconds, sorry about that, you call that. And essentially, the guy makes 1 out of 2 for San Diego State. Creighton tries to throw the long key. It gets tipped up out of bounds. The clock inside right after they got tipped in the air. They go to review. Then you do a stopwatch and all this other stuff. Game over. San Diego State wins. Creighton goes home. Greg McDermott's not happy with the situation, how they went about. I don't blame him. Nevertheless, the call stands. It is what it is. San Diego State wins the South region to advance to their first ever Final Four. And then the final spot came to the Midwest region in Kansas City, Missouri. The 5th seed Miami Hurricanes taking on the 2 seed Texas Longhorns. A game that went back and forth. Carr gets injured, comes back in. Miami big man fouls out. All this good stuff, but it was Miami's guards. Miami's guards pulled in and pulled away from the Texas Longhorns to take it 88-81. As Miami makes their first ever trip to the Final Four. Before we get to the Final Four, as you already previously saw, you do not see me in this graphic. You know why? Because Alabama lost. And I am completely done. So I can tell you for sure, somebody in the men's side is winning $100 from me because Alabama got beat by San Diego State. I had Texas in the Final Four, didn't make it. I had Gonzaga in the Final Four, didn't make it. That's 3 right there. And I had Marquette in the Final Four, didn't make it. So pretty much my Final Four and championship is all no show, which means I'm done. So the guy that you see highlighted down there who has the Butters bracket 3, I need to find out who that is. He has the best chance of winning because he picked Miami. He picked the U. He picked the U to win y'all. And the U is in the Final Four. Now, they do have a very, and I do mean very tough matchup ahead, which I'll get to after the break. Nevertheless, he has the best shot. And outside of that, you're looking at the guy at the top right there, ESPN fan. 3974-711-6791. Black Life, he has the second best chance, even though he picked Duke to win it all. But his Final Four was different than most of ours Final Four, so he has another shot. And then my boy Tyler Ingram, he has the third best chance of winning it, even though he picked Alabama as I did to win the whole thing. So Monday, we're gonna see who's winning $100. So it's gonna be interesting. But like I said, we're gonna after this break, we are going to dive into the Final Four. The Playmakerz bar is proudly to announce that it lettered a partnership deal with Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus. Stream live sports from any device that you have, whether it's your computer, laptop, or even your cellular device. Catch breaking news live when it happens, and enjoy a mountain of entertainment from movies to shows to whatever you love doing. Paramount Plus. Plan starts at $4.99 a month, but right now you can get a free trial. Just hit that link below with the Playmakerz blog and start your free trial right now. Paramount Plus, mountains of entertainment. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Paramount Plus, a way for you to watch the Final Four, which will be live on CBS. So if you have problems trying to get to a TV, just get Paramount Plus, and you can go ahead and starts at $4.99. You can get a free trial for the Final Four. And that free trial will get you started from Saturday all the way up to the following Saturday. See if you like our night. You got all the great shows you can watch on there as well, like CSI Miami, CSI New York. You have Scorpio on there, FBI, SWAT. All the good stuff is on there. With Paramount Plus, you got the classic Nickelodeon cartoons on there, like Rugrats, Hey On. Paramount Plus is a great app to get. So if you don't got to get it, and get ready for the Final Four on Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready for it. And speaking of the Final Four, we are here. Houston, Texas. Yes, the ladies are in Dallas. The men are in Houston. And the Final Four will get kicked off Saturday. As you can see, San Diego State, FAU, Miami, and UConn are your Final Four teams. You have 3 first-timers in the Final Four in San Diego State, FAU, and Miami. You have no top 3 seeds in the Final Four. San Diego State's a 5 seed. FAU's a 9 seed. Miami's a 5 seed. And UConn's a 4 seed. And the last time this team was in Houston, a certain team that wears blue and are called Huskies, who are in the Final Four this year, actually won the whole thing. And that was when Kemba Walker made that magical run when he went 5. When UConn had to go 5 days and 5 games in 5 days to win the Big East tournament, and they kept that run going all the way up to Houston to win the national championship. Yep, UConn is here again as the most dominant team in the tournament. Now, our first matchup is the San Diego State Aztecs, the South Region winners, against the East Region winners in FAU. San Diego State had a path to get here. That it wasn't likely to happen, but it made it happen, as you can see. San Diego State played College of Charleston, handled business against College of Charleston very well. They won that game. Let me get you the final score here. Do this, make sure I do this the correct way and not just do it any kind of way. Let's go here. There we go. All right. College of Charleston, they won in a very close-knit battle, 63-57. Good win for them. 6-point win for the Aztecs in that one. Round 2, they got to face Farmer, who came out the upset win of Virginia. They put them in their place, winning 75-52. Then the upset of all upsets, taking down the number 1 overall seed in the Alabama Crimson Tide, led by Brandon Miller, who did not have a great game. He did not have a great tournament this year, to be honest. If I look at Brandon Miller's numbers, only 9 points, 3 from 19 from the field, 1 for 10 for 3, but he did give you 11 bullets. But look at the Aztecs were stifling. They held Alabama to 11% shooting from 3. It says a lot because they like to shoot threes. They lost from 3. 3 for 27 from 3 was the Alabama Crimson Tide in this big upset loss to the San Diego State Aztecs. And of course, the controversy thing with the Creighton Blue Jays to get here to win the South region. That is the San Diego Aztecs path to the Final Four. FAU, on the other hand, was more surprising than whatnot. They win Conference USA handily. And then they had their opening matchup in the 8-9 with the American champions of Memphis Tigers and Penny Holloway, which they got by 66-65. And then we had a matchup that nobody expected in FAU versus FDU, Fairleigh Dickinson versus the Florida Atlantic. And Florida Atlantic handled business 78-70 in that one. Thus, you just recall the surprise upset win against a physical Tennessee team in the Sweet 16, 62-55, and then the back and forth affair between the Owls and the Wildcats of Kansas State as the Owls upset Kansas State to win the East region to get to the 4. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're talking Matt Bradley for the San Diego State Aztecs leading the charge with 12.5 points per game, shooting 40% from the field. Going against Jarnell Davis, who is averaging 14 points a game on 49% shooting from the field. You have an Aztec team that is tenacious on defense. And you have an Owls team who is a balanced team that can play defense and that can play offense. Now, if I sit here and look at top defensive leaders, you don't see none of these teams in here like that. So let's see what San Diego State's season stats look like. Okay, here we go. San Diego State has an overall rating of 31-6. They are very good on the defensive side. Very good on the defensive side. Because when you hear San Diego State, you hear defense. That's just call it what it is. You hear defense. They lock you down at the right moment in time. That I can say. Let's go to the Northwest. They're not that good. They don't score that much. You're talking about a team that averages what? Let's see. A team that averages about 72 points per game. They shoot 40%, 44% from the field. They shoot 35% from 3, which is not that good. But it's the defense, though. It's the defense the reason why they are who they are. If I look at San Diego State, they give up 63 points a game. Their whole opponents to 40% shooting from the field, 28% from 3-point range, which is, as you can see, Alabama shot 11% from the 3-point range. It's the defense that does it for the Aztecs. Defense. Now let's look at the Owls. Conference USA. They found a year in the Conference USA. The Florida Owls are in the Final Four before they made the transition to the American Conference, replacing a team just up north for them about a good 2.5 hours. And that'll be the UCF Knights, who will be moving to the Big 12. Florida Atlantic. Defensively, they give up 65 points per game. Opponents shoot 40% from the field. They also shoot 32% from 3, so they're not that far off from San Diego State defensive wise, but offensively, they score 78 points a game. They shoot 60% from the field, and they shoot about 36.5, 37% from 3. To me, could the Owls be favored? No, because they has the assets favored by 2.5. ESPN says 57.7% in favor of the assets of San Diego State. But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if the Owls pull this off. Okay? If you're looking at their tournament run, let's see. 66 on Memphis, 78 on Fairleigh Dickinson, 62 on Tennessee, and 79 on Kansas State. Let's see the defensive prowess of the assets. First round matchup, they gave up 57. Against Florida, they gave up 52. Against Alabama, they gave up 64. And against Creighton, they gave up 56. You talking about a team that can score high 70s and against a team that give up less than 60 points. This is gonna be a matchup of crash and style. San Diego's defense was FAU's offense. Something's gonna give. You talking about two teams that have won 30 plus games. FAU has won 35 games this season. They are 35-3. San Diego State is 31-6. San Diego's on an 8-game winning streak. Florida Atlanta's on an 11-game winning streak. This game here is going to be very intense, very heart-pounding for both fan bases and basketball fans in general because you don't know what's going to happen. We're talking 78 points per game from the Owls against 57 points per game from the SS defense. This is going to be something to behold. Does offense win the day or does defense, like y'all say, defense win championships, offense win games? Which one's going to prevail? Because this is a spot in a national championship game on Monday night. That's going to be a doozy. Then we get to the most dominant team in the country, in the UConn Huskies, against the other third and final team who's making their first ever Final Four appearance in the Miami Hurricanes. Look, this is what UConn has done since the tournament because they lost in the Big East tournament to Marquette, who actually won the Big East. They took on Wibatino and Iona before Wibatino became the head coach of St. John's. They beat them 87-63. Okay. I don't have a pencil with me. I wish I did, but okay. Let me use this real quick. So we talking. Let's see here. UConn won by what? 24 points in round one. Then we have UConn beating St. Mary's Gales. They beat them by 15. That's round two. Sweet 16 against the Arkansas Razorbacks. They beat them by 23. And then the Elite Eight matchup with Gonzaga, they beat them by 28. In the 4 games these dudes played, all by double digits at least 15 points. Now, let me do something out there because I'm going to give you that average margin of victory of this. Okay, we talking 24, 15, 23, and 28. They are winning by an average margin of 22 points a game. 22 points a game in the tournament is the UConn Huskies. This is crazy. This is the most dominant team in the tournament. And I hate it, to be honest. I do. And you know Vegas ain't giving them a chance. Not Miami, but Miami. Miami beat Drake by 7. They beat Indiana by 16. They beat Houston by 14, and they beat Texas by 7. Now, the way you look at it, you can say, okay, UConn beat Iona. Who cares? There's only Riverino over there. St. Mary's Gales, a West Coast Conference team. Okay. Arkansas. Okay. And Gonzaga. So you beat what? 15? Oh, what? Oh. Let me see. You beat let me look at UConn's thing here. Let me find them first. You beat 13, 5, 8, and 3. Texas, on the other hand, 12, 1. No, 12, 4, 1, and 2. Who had the more difficult? I think Miami might be ready more than people might give them credit for because they had to go through one of the best Big Ten teams in the country in Indiana. The number 1 seed in your bracket in the Houston Cougars, and then the 2nd seed in that bracket, the Texas Longhorns. So it could be possible that Miami might come in prime and ready for a matchup, and UConn could overlook them. So you said what? Iona, St. Mary's, Arkansas. Now, Gonzaga is very impressive. I ain't gonna hold you. Gonzaga is very impressive. By the way, UConn has not lost a non-conference game. All they 8 losses were in conference. UConn is 29-8, and all 8 came to Big East. So let's just say they are 29-0 against everybody else. Miami is 29-7. Okay. Now let's look at it here. Points per game, Miami, damn near 80. UConn is at 79. Defense, 70 for Miami, 59 for UConn. That's a big difference. Field goal percentage, 48 for Miami, 46 for UConn. Rebounds, 35 for Miami, 39 for UConn, +4 Huskies. Assists per game, 15 for Miami, 18 for UConn, +3. Blocks, 3 for Miami, 5 for UConn, +2. Steals per game, 7 and 6 +1. Miami. Every category, UConn's better, except for points and steals. Points per game, defensive points per game, field goal. But I'm just saying, do not be surprised if Miami punches UConn in the mouth and let them know you're not going to treat us like you did Gonzaga. You're not going to treat us like you did St. Mary's. You're not going to treat us like you did Arkansas. You're going to win. You're going to have to earn it. Do not be shocked if Miami comes in there and says, yo, y'all going to have to earn this one. Y'all been cruising. Y'all ain't cruising. Y'all not cruising Saturday night. Y'all not cruising Saturday night. We don't care. You're not cruising Saturday night. Y'all gonna have to bury us to win this. But does Miami have anybody for Adama Sanogo? And the thing is, listen to Coach Harley speak on first day. He ain't the most valuable player on that team. It's Watkins. So ESPN says 76.7 in favor of the UConn Huskies, giving Miami a 23.3% chance. We shall see, because it's going to be going down. And the national championship game is Monday night. There's your time. You have the Florida Atlantic Owls and the San Diego Aztecs game started at 6:09 p.m. Saturday. And after that game is done at 8:49. Or sometimes after that game, it's Miami and UConn for a trip to Monday's national championship game.